Hey guys, it's Andy from Magoo Investing. Today I'm going to be talking about why I held Tesla through those poor earnings. And so I made a video, I'll link that at the top, talking about the earnings, what I was looking for, and kind of this video is going to be explaining what actually happened and why I'm still holding, even though it did break below the level that I set in that video. So from that last video, the key points that I was talking about was that I was still in the green. There was a very solid support level around 230. And the fact that I wasn't that upset. Tesla moves all the time, and one bad news story wasn't a big deal for me. And so I'm going to go to the charts real quick, but as I'll talk about, it did break the 230 level, but the emotions of the earnings report are the reasons why I did not sell. So let's head on over there and let's talk about it. Here we are with Tesla. This is, I feel like every video I've been making has been talking about Tesla, but it's a stock that I'm trading, so it's near and dear to my heart, and I think it's a really interesting thing to look at. So the earnings happened right here, this giant red candle, and now let's talk about what my plan was. So when this originally happened, I think when I made the video, things were holding around here. So it was above the 230 level, and I thought, oh, you know what, this looks pretty good. And then after I made that video, I thought, you know what, I kind of need to wait for 24 hours of trading to see kind of how the stock's going to react. So I decided to let it sit for 24 hours and see what happened. So it opened around 35. It went really low, really early. Let's see if I can get an even earlier time frame. So immediately after the open, pushed from 233 down to 225 within 15 minutes. And so I'm at work, I'm looking at that, I'm like, whew, man, if it goes lower than that, I might need to get out. But then I slowly watched it push back up, back into my zone, come back, made a higher low, which is a good sign, and kind of held for the rest of the day. Same thing the next morning, opened, immediately fell, and then pushed back all day. And so I believe this was Friday. Friday? Yeah, so that was Friday. And so I thought, you know what? If it's going to end up around the 230 mark, I think things are going to be looking pretty good. Monday morning, you know what happens? The same thing. It opens low and pushes back up. And so at this point, I am now back in the green. Today, it did not open low and just pushed up. We're out of my zone. Things are looking good. And some of the things I'm trying to teach from this is earnings are a really tough thing to trade during. And so normally I sell my shares before earnings happens, but I felt a good feeling about Tesla, and obviously that was wrong, so I'll keep that in mind next time. But when you have the stock you're trading being in the news every day, talking about, oh man, they missed their mark really bad, other normal people like you are seeing that news and are trading because of it. So give it a couple days to settle, let yourself think about what's happening, see if the pattern is actually breaking or it's just the news that's pushing it, and then make your decision from there. So when you're holding a stock through poor earnings, I kind of think about it in the same way that I think about an argument with a significant other. If you just let your raw emotions the second it happens dictate what you do in the future, you might make a quick decision that you regret in the future. And so with earnings, you have the stock that you're holding in the news, things don't look good, and you might be selling even though things are telling you to hold. And so after I made that video, after I was waiting for it to upload actually, I was just kind of thinking, well, I said that if this 230 breaks, but with the hard thing about earnings is that it happens after hours most of the time. So you don't get that real trading volume to look at a day's worth of trading. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait 24 hours and see what happens. And so while it did break below that after 24 hours, it came back to a level that was still within my range. So the way that I interpreted that as the emotions of the bad earnings pushed it down, and then the next day people like me that can't trade after hours got out, pushed the stock lower, and then it got pushed back up and ended up back in my zone. So while it looks like it did break below the 230 level, everything that I was holding for still seems to be true. I'm now more in the green and things are looking good. So Tesla is a stock that I'll probably be holding unless some other news story besides earnings comes out and pushes it even lower. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you think next time that emotions get in the way, you kind of step back, give it 24 hours. A stock falling an extra day isn't going to matter after a poor earnings or a bad news story. So just kind of step back, think about what you're doing, and let the emotions of the market settle for a couple days. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.